okay? I don't care. I want my game and I want it back now. Do you hear me? Now! You don't even own a Sega CD! Oh, sorry, I didn't see you come in. Welcome back to Games You Haven't Played, where we discuss the games that aren't household names. Before we begin, I probably should apologize and give you an explanation for me being so AWOL. Perhaps you remember in my last episode when one of my most beloved and valuable Sega CD games, Popful Mail, was stolen from me by treachery and stealth. The culprit, seen here, is my little sister, Kate Pierce, and for the last 2 years I have been desperately trying to get the game returned to me. Any claims you may have heard that the actual reason for the delay is because I'm lazy, disorganized, and very easily distracted are completely unfounded. But don't worry, I promise I'll make it up to you guys, okay? Wait. Actually, now that I think about it, that's probably a very irresponsible thing for me to promise, given my current track record. Anyway, today's game that we will be reviewing is a very special early release for the Super Nintendo, ActRaiser. I am also proud to announce that starting with this episode, I will be bringing on a co-host who should be arriving... Oh, there he is!
Hey Colin, what's up?
Hey, Kevin, come on in. Everyone, this is Kevin Sutherberg, the new co-host for my show.
Hello.
Wait, what? Kevin, look.
I didn't consent to this. When did this happen?
Kevin, this episode's 2 years overdue. Will you please just go with it, okay? Please?
Loan me a game?
What? No, not after last time.
Last time was a fluke. Blame the stupid time-space singularity that popped up in my last apartment. What? Look, just loan me Ace Attorney just for a week, and we'll call it even. Capiche?
Fine. So, as you've already heard, today we are playing ActRaiser, an early release for the Super Nintendo that is, well, fairly unique in the world of video games.
I've definitely never heard of it. What genre is it?
How many slashes am I allowed to use?
Oh, so it's that kind of game.
Yeah.
2, maximum.
Okay, the best I can categorize ActRaiser is as an action RPG / city management / God Sim game. Which is pretty close, but really, ActRaiser is a game that defies classification. There is no other game like it, not even its own sequel, which ditched the RPG and city building elements that made it so unique, leaving only a standard action platformer. With people decrying the lack of innovation and creativity in games made today, it's quite ironic that Enix considered the fact that they removed what made the original so interesting a selling point worth being proclaimed on the front of the box.
Yep, hypocrisy is a cardinal sin.
Well, let's pop this game in and see how unique it actually is. So one of the first things you're likely to notice when you boot up the game is that the soundtrack is absolutely incredible. It was composed by Yuzo Koshiro, whom you may also know from his work on Sega's Streets of Rage franchise and Revenge of Shinobi. He even did music for a lot of Falcom's early games, including working on the first 2 games in the East series. The original composers might not be in the credits of the remakes for some strange reason, but a lot of the best tracks from those games are his work. Seriously, the dude's a legend. Right up there with Koji Kondo and Yuki-chan's papa.
The heck is that? Anyways, so when you start the game, you're asked by this little angel to name yourself. He then proceeds to run down the basics of the story. Basically, you are God, having just awoken from a long sleep after losing a great battle against the devil, during which he has taken over the world with his monsters. Now, the English language versions of the game call you the Master and the Devil Tanzra, but that's just Nintendo's draconian censorship policy of the time in effect. In the original Japanese version, you are most definitely God, and Tanzra is indeed Satan. The names were changed to avoid promoting one real-world religion over another. Of course they didn't want to cheese off the church-going parents. Thankfully, they didn't change anything beyond the name, so the ideas are still intact. In fact, some of the bosses are clearly based on deities from other religions. Hell, there's even a part in the game where your worshippers dump you for another deity and you have to find them, and go Old Testament on a starry heathen butt. I mean, when was the last time your god got hands on like, yeah, you know what, I'm just gonna shut up now before the angry mob of Jehovah's Witnesses show up.
So after getting caught up on the story, you come to a basic menu where you move around to different regions in your Sky Palace, check your stats, select what magic spell you want equipped in the action stages, you start with none, save your game, and of course launch an attack on the monsters in the current area.
When you first start the game, only one area is open to you, Fillmore. As you level up, you'll be able to unlock new, harder areas, but it is recommended that you do them in a certain order.
So you descend down to Fillmore on a Mode 7 effect.
Whoa. Have been this dizzy since my first Valkyrie check flight.
You take control of this here statue, and the first action stage begins. Damn, that music's fine. So you run and jump around, slash at monsters with your sword, and generally make your way through the level.
One thing that I like about the stage design is that if you look around, you can find hidden item boxes in out-of-the-way places to get things like minor and major health restores, point items, and extra lives. Once in a very great while, you'll also come across a sword power-up that allows you to shoot sword beams, just like another game series we all know and love.
Speaking of stage design, the American version of ActRaiser is supposedly slightly easier than the Japanese version in this regard, with less treacherous levels, spikes that don't kill you instantly, and other little changes here and there. On the other hand, certain enemies were given new attacks, and the simulation stages are harder. The European version made after actually contains a difficulty selection, and allows you to play a special mode with just the action stages, which is in the American version but is only unlocked after you've beaten the game once.
Not that this isn't totally fascinating to everyone, but can we please move it along? Ken Burns of gaming?
Fine. So you make it to the end of the stage and fight this here Centaur Knight thing, who becomes ridiculously easy once you realize he will only walk on the grass, and therefore not attack you when you're in the corner.
Aw, does the rock hurt his hooves or something?
Must need new shoes. So by using hit and run tactics, you quickly defeat the boss, and after your score is tallied, you are transported to the simulation stage. Here, you must assist the people, telling them how to grow their city, protecting them from the monsters that constantly spawn from these magic circles, and using your godly powers to help out as necessary. Usually through destroying the natural ecosystem so your people can move in and take over. Mother Earth, you are not.
Did that guy just turn into a farm? What, are you fertilizing the soil with his blood-stained corpse or something?
Well, it's an early game for the Super Nintendo, so you have to give them a little leeway in terms of graphics.
Why couldn't they just draw a little sprite of a guy tilling the soil so that it could play while the farm is appearing?
I don't know. Maybe they didn't have enough space. It's only an 8 megabit cartridge.
I call shenanigans. They were perfectly able to code a guy walking his dog for no good reason, so why couldn't they have a guy caring for the fields?
So as you build your town... Oh, sorry. It seems my people need something of me. Yeah, every once in a while you will be interrupted by your people summoning you, upon which they will ask for favors, give you updates on their progress, and occasionally even give you hints. Anyway, as you build your town, it will be attacked by monsters. In Fillmore, the monsters are fairly simple. Blue dragons destroy houses, killing the occupants if left unchecked, and napper bats, which will try to steal some of your townspeople and fly them off to who knows where. You can kill these monsters with your angel's bow and arrows, but if you run out of health, you will be temporarily unable to fight, leaving your people at the monster's mercy, of which they have none. However, if you direct your town to build over to a monster lair, your people will... Sorry, I gotta take this. Yeah, okay, that's nice. So when you build your city up to a monster lair, your people perform a little ritual to destroy it, and you then get a little perk, usually in the form of an offering from your people or a boost in the land's civilization level, which basically means that your land can support more people who can build sturdier houses, etc. As far as offerings go, usually it's simple things like bombs that destroy all monsters currently in the area, or more powerful arrows for your angel. But sometimes you can find really cool stuff, like items you can use in the action stages, such as extra lives, magic spells, and scrolls that give you an extra magic point to use with your spells. Speaking of magic spells, these things are amazing, especially magical stardust, which is funny because while you can get it quite early in the game, it's the most OP spell imaginable. It completely destroys any sense of difficulty curve because it's practically the beat the boss button. Seriously, look at this! You can take down almost every boss in the game in just a few hits with this spell. It's insane! Why would you include this so early in the game? I mean, God, talk about easy. I mean, why wouldn't you use this? Why bother learning the patterns of each boss when you can just mow them down with a couple button presses of magic? So you go around and... Oh my God! What is it? Seriously, how does God put up with all of this all day, every day, without becoming a psychopath?
Yeah, if I was him, I'd already be blowing the trumpet of the apocalypse.
So you go around destroying all the monster lairs in the area, taking care of your people, and...
Shut up! I can't stand it anymore!
Oh, wait, that was actually helpful information. Sorry about that. After you finally destroy all the monster lairs in the area, one of Tanzra's lieutenants will reveal himself and attack the town, forcing you to go into battle once more to save the land for good. Once you complete the second action stage and defeat the second boss of the area, things will usually become peaceful and you can move on to the next area to repeat the process. Although occasionally one last problem will emerge after you defeat the boss, which cannot be solved usually until you get an important item from a later area, upon which you can return to solve the people's problems for good.
So once you've done all you can for the people of Fillmore, you start progressing from area to area following the same basic steps. Action Stage 1, Simulation, Action Stage 2. Despite following the same basic structure from level to level, the game does a great job of keeping your attention as each area introduces its own new scenarios and problems to overcome.
Now, from this point forward, we are basically going to spoil the entire game. So if you want to play the game for yourself and be surprised, you should turn off the video right now, or at least skip down to this time below. Because we're not just going to red alert, we're going to spoiler alert.
The second area you come to is Bloodpool, and its awesome action stage music. Although the first boss is a royal pain in the ass, the sim stage has some interesting events that occur, most involving an adventurous teenage boy named Teddy. It also introduces a new enemy, the Red Demons, who will dry up your crop fields, requiring you to make it rain!
Make it rain, man. Make it rain, man.
But no, seriously, I mean actual rain, not the money kind.
Speaking of crops, the people of Bloodpool will at one point learn how to plant wheat, and urge you to teach other lands to plant it instead of corn, because apparently wheat feeds more people than corn.
What? that doesn't make any sense. They're both cereal crops, so they should feed about the same number of people. Also, in the world of ActRaiser, wheat apparently grows in blue dirt. What is up with that alien geography, Collin?
I don't know. I don't know a thing about horticulture. It's probably just so you can tell the difference with the relatively simple graphics.
Horticulture? You mean agriculture, right? And besides, it's not even agriculture, it's technically horticulture.
Shut up. After you complete the main tasks in Bloodpool, the people, because always needing something to gripe about is human nature, get really bitter and selfish and basically go on strike. We have no apparent way to fix the problem for now, so we have no choice but to proceed on to the next area, the desert of Cassandora.
Here you must destroy the desert by washing away the sand, and you do that by making it rain!
Kevin.
Because that makes perfect sense.
The red demons really start to come out in force on this stage, which is kind of an odd choice because they really don't do anything except ruin your crops and slow down your civilization growth, which really doesn't slow you down at all. You just water the crops and they're back to normal.
Early in the level, one of the more interesting series of events in this game begins when one of your people wanders out into the desert and gets lost. See, there he is. So you quickly, or slowly if you're an asshole like Collin.
Hey! Okay, fine. I did take my time saving him this playthrough, but it wasn't my fault. These red demons are really busting my ass today, and... Is that the same farm they ruined as last time? Ugh. Anyway, you slowly remove the desert and build your town over to where... What? That farm again?
You really should have taken those monster layers out quicker. Get good, Scrub.
You don't say! Anyway, you finally get your town to where... What the hell? What do you have against that one single farm? What the bleep?
Because they knew it'd cheese you off? They're demons, man. They probably feed off your rage. Regardless of how long you take, though, you're too late. By the time you get your people to the Lost Man, he has already died of dehydration in the desert.
Well, that really sucks. But there's nothing I can do about it now.
Why don't you just bring him back to life? I mean, you are God, why not pull Lazarus?
Sorry, he plot died. Besides, that's only for special circumstances. You don't just go around resurrecting people willy-nilly. If I did that, everyone would demand to be... What happened to the music? It is at this point that one of the leaders of Cassandora, so moved with empathy by what the lost man must have gone through before he died, is inspired to invent music. Let me repeat that. Music was invented as a memorial to this guy. It's such a great gift to the world that I, well, kind of feel that his loss was our gain. Anyway, the world's first musician gives you a sample of his work and discusses the profound emotional effect music can have on people. I wonder... As you might have guessed, this music touches the hearts of the people of Bloodpool so deeply that they realize the error of their ways, stop fighting amongst themselves, and return to their jobs. Civilization is saved once again. This is also a good point at which to begin maxing out your town's populations. Unfortunately, this is where the pacing of the game really starts to drag, as it takes several minutes for your people to develop the region to its maximum capacity. Even then, if you have been doing your job and the entire area of each land has been developed, and there is no more room for additional houses, you still will not have gotten everything you can out of the land because, surprise, when the civilization level of a town increases, the people build better houses that can support more people. So why is that a problem? Because the people are too lazy to remodel the old houses into the new ones. So what is a god to do? Well, at this point you should have enough spirit points to be able to cause an earthquake. If you do so, all the houses that were not built to max civilization level standards will be destroyed, and your people will have to rebuild the houses, this time as max level houses.
You're a monster!
Oh, come on. You can't get to max level if you don't do this. Besides, after the town is all rebuilt at max level, earthquakes don't destroy the houses anymore. Well, I guess I do feel kind of guilty, but it'll pass. Anyway, waiting for your town to rebuild takes forever, so I'm gonna make some dinner.
So, once your towns are done being maxed out...
Collin, chew, swallow, talk, in that order. Meanwhile, in Cassandora, all is not well. A strange pyramid that you uncovered in the desert has begun to entice the people and is luring them inside, never to return.
Pro tip, if you cause an earthquake after uncovering the pyramid, you will get an extra life for the action stages. If you complete the area before doing this, you won't be able to get it though, because as you may have guessed by now, that pyramid is where the second action stage takes place, and after you beat the boss, the pyramid disappears.
After you destroy the final monster lair, it turns out that, what a shock, the pyramid is the monster's home base in the area. So you go into the pyramid and wait. The master fights by possessing these statues, right? That's what it said in the manual.
Yeah, I think so. Why?
Why would there be one of these statues just sitting around in the monster's main lair? Don't they know what it does? Did they really just leave it there? Isn't leaving around useful stuff for the hero, like, really high up on the list of things evil overlords should never do?
Oh my god, you're right. That makes no sense whatsoever. Worst guards ever.
So, after going into the pyramid and killing King Tut in about 10 seconds with magical stardust, the region appears to be saved at last. The monsters are gone, the people tell you they can take care of themselves, you prepare to move on to the next area,
and before you can say Black Death, it all goes wrong. The people of Cassandora become infected by a plague, and they beg you to find medicinal herbs for them, 5 seconds after they told you they could now look after themselves.
Humans. Too smart to die, but too stupid to live.
So, because the people are the source of your power, you decide that it is in everyone's best interest to look for the herbs that will cure them. According to our stat page, our next stop is the mountain town of Itos. Honestly, not much of interest happens in Itos. Seriously, not even the localization team gave a crap about it. In fact, the number of errors in the text begins to increase dramatically from here on out, like the proofreader got bored or something. The only thing of interest is the second action stage taking place inside of an active volcano right in the middle of town. Seriously, who saw this thing and said, "Yeah, we want to live here. If I fail, say hi to the people of Pompeii for me."
Wait, how the hell are you surviving spelunking inside an active volcano? Even if the poisonous fumes didn't kill you before you even got close, the heat would just cause you to burst in the flames. It's like Death Mountain in Breath of the Wild, spontaneous combustion, boom!
I'm God, goddammit, deal with it.
Oh, right, that. So, after your relatively uneventful stay in Itos, you travel south to the tropical island of Marana.
Marana is a bit more eventful than Itos. After defeating the first stage's relatively nasty boss, one that you won't beat by just spamming magical stardust repeatedly, you'll find that the stage goes by fairly quick and painlessly. Early on, you'll be asked by the people if there's a way you can link the main island to a smaller one to the northwest. Okay, anything you say!
Also, your people will soon find medicinal herbs that help people recover from the plague. Yeah, remember that? Way back in Cassandora several hours of gameplay ago? So, you take the herbs back there, and you use them to save the people. And then you can max out the town and head back to Marana.
Herbs?
Yeah, you don't get to talk to me like that, Mr. Articulture.
While this is happening, say, does a town this large really need that many wheat fields?
They do if they only grow 16 plants at a time.
Anyway, while Cassandra recovers, they will likely find that strange pictogram with a bird on the northern shore. When this happens, you will be offered a stone slab found under the boulder at the site that claims there is something hidden in that spot on an island with the same shape.
So, you head back to Marana, and sure enough, there it is to the northeast, and... wait a minute.
Well, we'll worry about the island after we get rid of the monsters. As you have your people take out the monster layers, eventually the town leaders will warn you about a suspicious temple that has appeared in the southwestern section of the island, and that the monsters, strangely, have not attacked it. Gee, I wonder where the second action stage will take place. Well, if they haven't attacked it, I will. Damn it!
Of course, once you take out the final monster lair, something bad happens. You're summoned back to your temple to learn what has happened, and no one's there. Your people have stopped worshipping you, and are instead paying tribute to the monsters. Jesus, these people are fickle.
Well, wait a minute. If everyone has forsaken me, who summoned me to the temple?
Huh, weird. Anyway, in the spirit of, my god can beat up your god, you inhabit the statue of yourself on top of the pagan temple, which is there because... oh, shut up, just go with it. And proceed down into the heart of the temple.
You reach the bastard who misled your people and engage in an epic battle where you spam magical stardust until he explodes, quicker than you can say non-existent difficulty curve. And all is well in Marana. Your people apologize and return to your side and promise to never be misled again. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, people, it's time to atone for your sins.
Ow! That's not how atonement works.
It isn't?
Come on. You went to church for a couple of years. You should know this.
I guess I wasn't a very good student. Oh, come on, like most Christians these days are any better.
You got a point there.
Anyway, you give the stone slab to the people, which causes a boat to suddenly appear on the shore, which is used by your people to investigate the bird-shaped island. However, your people cannot seem to find whatever it is they're looking for. But remember that boulder on the pictogram? Blast that spot with lightning and a tree will burn down, marking the spot where your thankfully immune explorers will find another magic spell. Let's celebrate by never actually using it. Seriously, why did they give us magical stardust so early in the game?
On that note, you leave Marana and head to the final area of the game, North Wall.
After beating the hardest action stage yet, complete with a new music track, you begin destroying yet another natural climate for your people's comfort. This time a frozen tundra.
Manifest destiny in action. Hey, wait a minute. If this land is covered in snow, why is there green grass underneath it when you melt it? Shouldn't it be brown like it is here in Wyoming?
What are you talking about, Kevin? Nobody lives in Wyoming! In this area, the Skullheads, the most dangerous simulation level enemy in the game, come out in force. They repeatedly charge at your angel, doing severe damage with every hit, and if you leave them alone for too long, they cause earthquakes. That's my job, asshole! If you've been saving your bombs and angel arrows, now is the time to use them.
Near the town, the villagers will eventually find a large tree that the town becomes quite attached to. Oh, hi, I wonder where the second action stage will take place.
After solving a couple of minor problems and destroying all the monsters, sure enough, a boss invades that tree and you have to kill it. So begins the final action stage, with one of the best songs in the game, and it only plays in this level. This level is also the hardest one in the game, swarming you with strong enemies that take multiple hits to destroy. Eventually, you get to the top of the tree and fight an ice dragon, who of course is quickly defeated with magical stardust. Hooray. With the final area reclaimed, your immortal enemy Tanzra, remember him, finally reveals his lair, and after making your final preparations, making sure you have every possible power-up you can find, and leveling up as high as you can. By the way, if you do get to max level, your angel assistant will congratulate you. You finally delve into the volcanic lair of Tanzra, Defheim.
Before you can reach Tanzra, though, you must first make your way to a boss rush of all of Tanzra's lieutenants that you've already killed. Because that hasn't been done half a dozen times already.
Luckily, as we've established, just about everything in the game is weak to magical stardust, so... Wait. Oh, crap. Oh, crap! No! Shit, I'm out of MP!
That's what you get for being over-reliant on an overpowered cheat spell. I knew this was going to come back and bite you in the ass.
Shit!
Now you're going to actually have to learn the patterns and beat the last few like a legitimate gamer.
Fuck! After slogging your way through the boss rush, you finally have your long-awaited battle with Tanzra. And he goes down quicker than a feminazi on the recent Ghostbusters remake.
True. For a very loose definition of recent.
Shut up, Kevin.
Just saying.
Of course, Tanzra's not done, so he takes on a second form and the real battle begins. So anyway, final round, fight! When you finally defeat Tanzra for good, you get a nice, pleasant, long, and triumphant ending, where you and your angel friend revisit all of the towns you've created to see how they're doing, while your angel friend waxes philosophic on all that we've been through.
Okay, wow. This got real deep real quick. I'm getting non-flashbacks from Shin Megami Tensei.
Unfortunately, this is where the English translation fumbles the ball at the 5-yard line. In Bloodpool, the angel reminds you of how the villagers were forced to draw lots to see who would be sacrificed, and reveals to you that Teddy, remember him, was the one chosen. However, it isn't clear if what he's saying is that Teddy died by sacrifice, or if he's explaining what a difference we made in his life by saving him.
Another weird moment is when you swing by Marana, and the angel makes mention of something called the Evil Mirror. Evil Mirror? What Evil Mirror? You're telling me that no one mentioned this freaking Deus Ex Machina before.
In any case, after you end your tour in Northwall, you and your angel friend decide to peek in the temple, only to find that no one is there. The angel hypothesizes that maybe since evil has been destroyed, that perhaps the people don't feel they need you anymore, and wonders about what is the purpose of God in times of peace and happiness. With those questions on your mind, you depart the world for now, and allow your people to live in peace, until a time comes when they need you again. Ungrateful bastards.
And that was ActRaiser. And wait a second. Collin, is it just me, or is this really, really familiar?
Really? I don't hear any... Wait.
You have got to be
Really?
kidding me.
Really? And that was ActRaiser, one of the great cult classics for the Super Nintendo. And you know what, Kevin? All our nitpicking and loving teasing aside, it still holds up after all these years.
Yeah, it's really not that bad. While it does have its moments of repetition and slow pacing, there's really nothing else out there that can match its uniqueness. The game has a lot of charm and quirk value. It's very unique, has a great art design, and the music is amazing.
The storyline was very ambitious and daring for the time, especially for a Super Nintendo game of that era. And surprisingly, it survived through Nintendo's pure tyrannical American censorship policies at the time almost completely intact. And it provides a very intriguing and thought-provoking allegory of modern-day religion and its purpose in peaceful times. I think. Well, that does it for another review. And Kevin, I have to admit you actually did a pretty good job co-hosting.
Sure, no problem.
We'll have to do this again sometime.
Okay, but please do warn me in advance. Kevin here, what's up? What? Zentradi attack on the colony? Yeah, I'll be right there.
What, are you some kind of Robotech LARP or something?
What? Hell no, that would be stupid. It's Macross, not Robotech. Anyways, I have to go. Sortie orders. My squadron needs me.
Okay, I'll call you when the next episode's ready to be made.
Alright, see you in a couple of years then.
What a jerk. Anyway, before I go, I should probably give you an update on the Blinking Light Win. You may remember in my last episode, 2 years ago, that I had some technical difficulties installing it in my NES here. Well, since I couldn't open it, I did the only rational, logical thing I could think of. I bought another one. Well, let's finally finish what we started and see if the Blinking Light Win is truly a winner. Phillips head screw should be banned from being used in game consoles! Seriously! Yeah, I got it open, but I scripted the screws doing so, and so now that it's back together, I don't think I'll ever be able to open it again! Seriously, I can't make this shit up! Still, does it work? Well, I got my NES set back up, put in Super C's, my test game. Let's see if this thing works. After all the effort I put into this, it better. Well, guys, I'm sorry to say that... Oh! Just my shitty TV. Actually, it's pretty impressive. When I first got this NES, nothing worked. No game I tried worked. Period. However, after installing the BLW, I'm happy to say I've had absolutely no problems. Except one time when I was, ironically, filming this very episode. The only problem is mine, which is from the initial Kickstarter run, has an insanely strong Kung Fu Bruce Lee level grip. Seriously, I can't get it out. Come on. Ugh. Anyway, I'm sure this is not going to stop to get a loose connection like the old Zero Insertion Force slots are going to anytime soon. Son of a submariner! Whatever, I'll take it out later. Anyway, the later production runs supposedly have fixed this very problem, so it's only $30 and it's available now at arcadeworks.net. Get it while you can. Well, that does it for another episode of Games You Haven't Played, but stay tuned because more episodes are gonna be coming shortly. I hope. But anyway, please like, comment, and subscribe and all that other YouTube crap. Send your game requests to gamesYouHaven'tPlayed@yahoo.com. And remember, until next time, If your subjects won't leave you the hell alone while you're trying to work, give them something to complain about. Strike the temple with lightning. Not only will it put the fear of you into them, but they might even give you cool loot to spare their lives. Until next time, this is Collin Pierce saying... I mean, seriously, what is that? What is that rumbling outside? What the fuck?
The second area you come to is Bloodpool, and its awesome motherfucker.
Today's game is a very special release for the... God damn it, I was off to such a good start, too.
God damn it, Kevin, we just hit record! God damn it.
It's not my fault, you're the one that kept laughing.
I'm sorry!
I didn't want to give you the wait hand signal after I'd already given you the thumbs up.
Oh, God.
But don't worry, I promise to make it up to you. Which is probably a very What's the word? I need the word. Synonyms. Oh, God.
The second area you come to is Bloodpool, and its awesome action stage music. Although the first pause...
Ow! This forebodes well for this take.
Kevin!
Okay, I'm just gonna say it right now. Line 52 hates me.
You don't say.
And remember, until next time, if your students...
Although the first boss is a royal pain in the ass, the Sim stage has some interesting events that occur, most involving an adventurous teenage boy named Teddy. It also introduces the new and...
Okay then, Shatner.
I'm hating myself. I'm hating myself for this. I hate this line.
That's why I told you could cut it up into bits if you have to.
We probably will need to do that.
Any day now! What the hell's wrong with this thing? What the heck? Oh, fuck me, I forgot to plug the system in.
By the time you get your people to the Lost Man, he has already died.
God damn. He is height of heat dehydration.
I don't know. Don't look at me. I wasn't the one.
Why?
I was possessed. It was a demon. I swear.
Oh my god, I can't get it to stop.
What the fuck? I plugged it in. Why isn't it working? Seriously, I mean, let me guess, the power supply has now died. That would be my luck.
Why don't you just resurrect him?
She did it again.
I'm sorry. I something about that word just doesn't come out of my mouth right.
Jeez, resurrect him.
I didn't sound that much like a redneck, you jackass.
Come on. Any day now. Well, shit, I guess it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't work. Fuck me!
Why don't you just resurrect him? I'm sorry. I'm Southern. It comes out every now and then.
Yeah, well,
we are changing that line. We are not using that word anymore.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Hey, it happens to me too.
Once I installed the BL... Is it... No, not BLM. Jesus Christ. Let's not even go there. BLW. God damn.
Meanwhile, in Casa... Stop.
Come on. Stand up straight. Make sure the angle is still right.
Also, your people will soon find medicinal herbs that will help people recover from the plague. Yeah, remember that? Way back in Casadora? Fuck.
Herbs.
Okay. I see that word, and the only thing where I can think of is like Cassandra, but it's like Cassandora, or actually, okay, for once, I just pronounced it correctly when I was bitching about not pronouncing it correctly.
Huh?
Fuck me.
What? Oh, God.
So, as you've already heard, we're reviewing ActRaiser for the Super Nintendo today. A game that is kind of unlike anything else that I've ever played. Yeah.
Well, what... John,
I'm sorry.
You flubbed your line.
So bad. So bad.
Well, hey, good news is at least we were recording, so we can have this as an outtake.
Yes. Oh God, I didn't even like. I just kind of trailed off and was like, what? Okay.
Good job, Collin.
Yes. All right.
Cut.
Yeah. What you talking about, Kevin? Ain't nobody live up here in Wyoming. Can you move over a little? There we go. All right. And action.
I missed you completely.
Yes, you did. How do you do that?
Oh, it's like I was trying to make it look, convincing, but not like, I was actually smacking you upside the head with a Bible. So
We're not talented enough for that.
True. Amateur hour.
When you finally defeat Tanzra for good, you get a nice, pleasant, long, and triumphant ending, where you and your angel friend...
Way to go. Outtake number 15 we're at now?
Something like that. Is it recording? It is. I don't need the controller anymore. Okay.
Well, actually, I feel like I should get up right about when I say, or maybe be like, no, I think that works. So basically, down to 135, I answer my phone, and that's when I get up. And maybe I'm zipping up my jacket as I'm standing there by the door when I say the 137 line, and then I finish with 139 as I'm walking away. Okay, I'm recording, so great behind the scenes stuff, by the way, huh? Very riveting. Oh, I did not realize we were actually recording. Yeah, hot mic. Okay. Another one for the outtake folders, I guess. Yeah. We're new at this, guys. Forgive us. Let's just try to get a take in anyway. Another weird moment is when you swing by Marana and the angel makes mention of something called the Evil Mirror. Evil Mirror? What Evil Mirror? You're telling me that no one mentioned this freaking Uses Ex Machina that... sometimes I wonder if I should just chug a bottle of edible sex lube before doing these lines.
What?
I'm serious.
What? Okay, I'll admit it. That was worth it.
Tongue-tied.
That was worth it.
I'll lubricate that now.
Oh, God. Oh, okay, I was waiting for it, and I knew it would be... I should have known it'd be worth it. You did say you had a line ready to go for the next flub. Oh my God, Jesus Christ.
Hey, don't kink shame.
I got nothing.
What a jerk. Why am I opening this? I have no motivation to do this. What the hell is wrong with me?